Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Amar Elm, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Chuck Shaver, founder at CS Sales Consulting, a performance-driven sales consulting firm focused on helping sales teams overcome stagnation, improve closing rates, and unlock peak performance. With decades of hands-on experience in B2B sales and a results-first mindset, Chuck brings unique real-world insights into what truly moves the needle in sales. Chuck, welcome to Founders Future.
Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, I'm excited to dive in. I always like to start from the beginning. So take us back on a little trip down memory lane to before you started CS Sales Consulting. What were you doing at the time? And then what was really the motivation behind starting the company?
Most of my career, straight out of college, my college background was telecommunications sales. I've always steered towards sales in tech, and that's been where most of my career has been. So both from a regional support VAR side all the way up to manufacturing side as a rep. I've done a little bit of working for large organizations, publicly held companies. I started a couple companies myself, so I'm an old guy. I've been doing this for a long time. And my older brother was a one of the early gurus on LinkedIn and turned me on to that as a tool. So I adopted LinkedIn over 15 years ago, and it certainly wasn't the tool back then that it is today. But the more I leaned into it, the more that became my superpower, my differentiator to smooth out the dips in sales cycles and raise my revenue to get more noticeability with the different organizations I was with.
Yeah,
And then they slowly realized that's what they wanted to talk about is more of the social selling side, not so much just 101 tech sales side.
that's powerful. So I'd love to give the listeners more context into what CS Sales Consulting does today.
Okay.
Walk me through two things. Who would you say is your ideal customer? Who do you love to work with? And then from there, what are the different offers and services that you provide for them?
Yeah. So I really have a broad reach of clients that I work with. My largest local company that I've worked with is a technology provider here. That's one of the big ISPs in the area. And my other largest company that I've worked with is a chemical manufacturer in Paris, France. So there's really no, that's it. I came from a tech background, so I have a lot of connections in the tech background. So a lot of tech sales teams has been the majority of my business, but that's getting broader. It used to not be any finance or healthcare, but I'm doing a lot of finance and healthcare now. So there's really not one geo vertical industry size a company anymore because I have individual coaches that are clients of mine and companies with almost 100,000 employees and everything in between. It's really hard to pin that down, and maybe that's to my detriment as far as that I don't niche down into a particular vertical at this point. But yeah, that's my market. So it's
It
wide.
sounds like it's people that want to increase their presence on LinkedIn. Is that
Right.
accurate? So
Yeah, yeah. So it's sometimes they just are looking for a new, easier way to sell. And LinkedIn for B2B, LinkedIn is the most powerful tool out there and that most people don't know how to do. And even if they know enough to be dangerous, they don't have the patience or the skills to know how to do it effectively and efficiently. Because I'm a LinkedIn guy on LinkedIn doing LinkedIn. So I've already given that I'm going to spend 30 to 50 hours a week on LinkedIn. Well, most sales managers don't want their sales reps spending a ton of time on LinkedIn. I can help them by taking on some of those responsibilities for them or teaching them how to do it for themselves to make it
got it. So
better.
walk me through practically what that looks like from a client engagement standpoint and then a deliverables standpoint.
Sure. So always break down LinkedIn to it's one of three things. So LinkedIn is your company slash personal aspect branding of it. And that's the profile. That's how you show up, your first impression. And even if you're somebody that's not leveraging LinkedIn, let's say you're a phone, you bang into phones and you're just cold calling on the phone all day long, or at least doing a call blitz once a week. Everyone these days is used to doing a little Google search, doing a little creeping, doing a little background check to see what they can find out. They're going to land on the company website, but then they're also going to land on your LinkedIn profile. And what are they seeing there? Are they getting good information out of that? And they want to go through that buyer's journey on your own. So you need to build that. That's the foundation, the branding. That's number one. That needs to be done. Optimize your profile. You have 308 areas and settings there. Most people don't touch more than 25 of them. And all the default settings are not in your best interest. So you're wide open to spammers. You're wide open to security breaches. You don't have any good content in there. Most of the cool features are turned off by default. And so there's a lot to do there. So when I go in and I do that, I'm interviewing the client to get their voice. I'm doing market research. I'm transcribing that and running that in some different AI tools to get more feedback back. And I'm going to write all of it for them. I'm going to have my graphics team do a professionally designed banner that has science behind it of what's going to attract people's attention. That's their ICP, and help them fill out those 308 areas. So that's one. Number two is advertising. So now that you've got this bright, shiny new marketing piece, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to just let it sit out there and let people stumble across it organically, or are you going to start getting active on the platform? So getting active on the platform, commenting, liking, doing your own posting, those are all things where you're not really selling too much. You're just getting the word out, so not being that best kept secret anymore, getting the word out of your products and services and what you're all about. Number three is prospecting. LinkedIn's the world's largest CRM out there with free access to most of that information. And so you want to build highly targeted lists and start connecting to the right people that are going to bring revenue to you, opening up the conversations that are going to lead to quality meetings to talk about doing business together, and nurturing existing relationships that you have with these different people. So that's what it's all about. So branding, advertising, and prospecting. And I help with all of those. So I'll optimize your profile. I will teach you or work with you to take off some of that legwork on you to do the advertising part. And same thing, I will teach you how to use Navigator, or I will help you do some of the work for you to do the building of lists and outreach and things of that nature.
Powerful. So it sounds like there's a done for you component along with a done with you component where they're actually learning how to do these things themselves.
Correct.
Is it typically like a 3-month engagement, 6-month engagement? What does that typically look like?
If we're doing everything for a client, we require 90 days. That's all we want is 90 days just so they can actually see some return on it. And so they see the value in it. We don't ask people to commit to a 12-month contract, but most of them turn into long-term engagements. We have clients that have been with us for years, and they continue to have us make the content for them, do the posting for them, help them build the list, do the outreach. Pretty much their only hands-on is when we're putting somebody in their calendar or somebody reaches out with an ask of some sort, then they're showing up to the meeting and or they're responding to the requests.
Got it. Yeah, I could see how this can be valuable where they can just outsource or slash delegate all of that stuff and they can just focus on being on the calls with prospects.
If they want to learn it themselves, though, if they want me to just teach and walk away, that typical engagement is going to be roughly 3 to 4 weeks to completely roll out the profile, and then another 4 weeks for training.
And obviously you can work with people that have zero presence. Let's say they're literally just starting their profile from scratch,
Right.
or people that already have some sort of established profile.
Yeah, it's not common or not uncommon for me to go into a large sales team and I'm doing everyone in the whole company, and you'll have one person that just opened an account or that might have opened it years ago, but there's like nothing there. And it's typically when I'm doing the transition, I will use that person. I will log in as them or get their laptop that they log in at, and I will actually build it for them. Because if you don't even know your way around anywhere and you have zero technical experience, then sometimes that person can slow down the overall group
Yeah.
and everyone doesn't ask the questions that they want. So I look to handhold the people that are on the low end so I can answer the questions that people on the high end are going to have and get them through all the delivery that they need.
We have a lot of consultants that listen to this, and I feel like I already know what you're going to say, but I'm curious when it comes to your client acquisition, when you're looking to bring more leads into your ecosystem, in terms of a marketing slash lead gen standpoint, how are you currently acquiring clients?
All through, almost all through either referral or direct outreach DMs and LinkedIn.
Got it.
That's 80% of my business easily.
Okay. Where would you say the other 20% come from?
Oh, old acquaintances, email. Somebody saw I'll be doing a podcast for somebody else, and maybe you'll post this and somebody will reach through that. My older brother that's been in this game longer than I am is semi-retired, so he'll throw if people ask him, "Hey, can you help me?" So go talk to my brother kind of thing. So it comes in from a lot of different angles.
Yeah. I'm curious your perspective on this because I had a gentleman earlier this week and he said with his lead gen, he's focused on referrals, word of mouth. He does small outreach, not really systematic. And he said it's great. Referrals are awesome. They're the highest intent, highest like no trust factor. But he expressed frustrations when it comes to inconsistencies and the lack of predictability that can come with that type of channel. So I'm curious for you, what has your experience been there? And if there's any future initiatives or any thought processes that you have around building predictability when it comes to lead gen,
For just specifically referrals?
or just in general, because for him, he was saying referrals, they're great, but they're inconsistent, they're not predictable.
Okay, sure. Some of the clients that I do everything for, that it's like a monthly management for them, they are my greatest referrals. And I've had just this week two new meetings that people have booked with me through referrals that I did the lead gen to get, if you're following me there. So I have fully managed accounts that I manage their accounts. I do the messaging, I do the outreach for the client in DMs of their highly targeted lists. They've got an opportunity with this client and they're like, I'm curious. I really like how you reached out, how you connected with me. That's really good. I should teach my team that. And he goes, actually, Chuck and his team does it for me. So I technically I didn't even do it. So then they're like, okay, now I want to talk to Chuck next. So that's my word of mouth. That's great. And that happens on a regular basis. And the other is I practice what I teach. I put out daily content and I prop other people up. The whole rising tide or the rising tide raises all boats kind of thing. I prop other people up. I promote other people. I promote when I have meetings and podcasts and different things out there, and people see the connections that I've made and are probably connected maybe to one or both of us. And then that just
Yep.
opens up more conversation. I'm mostly inbound. The only outbound I do is level one connections of direct messaging in LinkedIn that I say, hey, we should visit. We've been connected and I want to get to know my connections kind of thing. So yeah, there's a language to it. There's a way not to do it, both to get you kicked off LinkedIn, to get you high spam ratings, to just be people get lazy when they have automation, when they have technology, just like when we first not that I was around, but when people first got the phone, when people first get email, when people first started leveraging social media, so every time they get a new technology, it's they abuse it because they think they can hide behind it and not be genuine and not have real conversational messaging when they send that out, and that does more harm than good.
Can you briefly describe to us what your sales process looks like? So once a lead does come in inbound, what are the different steps that they go through for them to become a client?
Goes right to a meeting. If they typically these are virtual meetings because I work worldwide, not just in my backyard. They're a virtual meeting. I set up a Zoom. That Zoom is recorded, it's transcribed. I have AI that picks out what was the tone, who were the hot words where did that person perk up as far as, what they were most intrigued with or interested with or where their pain points are. So I have a lot of tools that can basically write me a script of what appeals to these people in that very first initial meeting. So the more meetings I have a week, the more data I have, the more that I can put it in the right funnel to nurture it for later. So I know if somebody's not in a buying cycle, and I'm not going to push it. I think in sales, a potential client can smell desperation, and I'm not desperate. I don't need to sell it. I get so much more value just explaining what I do and proving that I know what I'm doing to people. And I don't want to sell them. If they're ready to, if that's something they're interested in, they're going to lean in. And if they don't lean in, then they can leave with that education. And when they run across somebody that is leaning into needing something like that, they know who to go to.
Yeah.
And that's where my value lies. It's the more people I can not sell to, but educate, the more referral people I'm going to have out there.
That's powerful. When you think of your vision and where you want to take the company, let's say over the next 12 to 24 months, are there any specific revenue targets, performance targets? What are you really aiming for?
In the next 60 days for our like all inclusive everything, doing your content and everything, the team's targeting to bring on 100 new clients. That's our goal, is to get 100 on our highest. We're doing everything for you because we want to do a full data test study for them, try to get 6 months under our belt so we can put real numbers behind. Because people ask me all the time, does LinkedIn really work? And for me, I always say I'm a LinkedIn guy on LinkedIn selling LinkedIn. So yeah, for me it does, but it's obvious to me that if you're on LinkedIn and you see me, that you have some interest or value in this platform. That's not really viable for healthcare or for legal or for commercial construction that's been hot for me recently. So is your vertical valuable here? We want to get as much data as we can. So we want a broad scope of different industries in different geographies. And that's our goal, is to see if we can get 100 people so we can get a run rate of 6 months of data so we can say, look, here's these people, and we could break it down into, let's look at different verticals, let's look at size of company, let's look at geographies. But if we can carve it up different ways if we get enough data points in there. But that's what we want. 100. We haven't put a number behind that. I could tell you what that revenue would be, but then
It's
I'd
all
be
good. What do you feel like is, with that in mind, I love that goal. With that in
mhm.
mind, what do you feel is the biggest challenge you're facing right now to getting there?
I don't know. I think its mindset has been forever in this industry the biggest shift, because what's transitioned now, 10 years ago when I first started in this, it was only people on the coast or big metropolis that were really leaning into social selling. They weren't really doing much with it. They didn't believe in it. They weren't investing in it. Now people are more aware of it, but they're still what they're doing. I'm in the upper Midwest US, so it's, for me, a lot of the efforts that are going into social selling is they tell someone in marketing that's your job. And most of these are traditionally taught and educated and experienced marketers, but they've never carried the bag. They've never sold. They don't know that sales language. And so it becomes this cat herding, if you will, between sales and marketing, to where they don't communicate well together. They don't work well together. And the it's all stale corporate, sometimes regulated information that's going out on a business page. They ask sales to engage. Sales says, that's not my job. I don't make money off that. I don't want to do that. And it doesn't appeal to them. There's no communication there. So it's really my first month with the company coming in and doing a whole company overhaul is just getting everyone on the same page that, look, you have to work as a team. Sales has the experience, marketing has the talent. Marketing can deliver it, sales can help you develop it, but you need to work as a team and we need to do some research and we need to figure out what's going to work best. And then once we get that baseline, then set each individual off to do their own thing in their own style. And that's where it really works.
Got it. So it sounds like when you say mindset, is it the mindset around the prospects that you're talking to around social selling in general? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think because they're free now to let marketing people do social selling, but leaders, especially sales leaders, are reluctant. I'll have sales leaders hire me to come in and train them, their reps, how to use LinkedIn, how to use Navigator because they're paying for that or whatever, and then turn right around and say, but just so you know, I don't want to release all the sales reps to just go willy-nilly and post whatever they want. We want to vet the content. We don't want them just posting anything. We want marketing to control that. And I'm like, if you're not in a heavily regulated industry, why the hell would you do that? And
Yeah.
they're like, what do you mean? And I have the same story with all sales leaders. It's look, you are allowing them to make phone calls. You're allowing them to go to conventions. You're allowing them to knock on doors. You're allowing them to go to chamber mixers. You're allowing them off leash to go and talk to hundreds of people, if not possibly thousands of people in a given week or month without any oversight, but you're afraid to let them post one message of quality on social media that could reach thousands of people in a
Yeah.
matter of minutes. That makes absolutely no sense to me. And when you put it in that context, they get it. They
Yeah.
get it. I don't want them to put a bunch of personal stuff out there because it's a business page. So your rep that has a relationship with that client doesn't know that he has kids,
Mm.
doesn't know that he's involved with some athletic or some recreation or something out. Yeah, everyone personalizes things. It allows them to get to know these people on a completely different level. And that's what you have to do is release them to do that so that this actually works.
Mm.
So that's part of the education. And they haven't fully absorbed that this has to be a part of your marketing budget. Television commercials are dead, radio is dead. There's way too many distractions out there. When it's, I have a $50,000 a year radio spend. Everyone's listening to Spotify on Bluetooth to their cars. They're not listening to that anymore.
Yeah.
So why are you wasting that money when you could be focusing on much more productive areas? So it's
Exactly.
just that sort of mindset of relax. If you trust them as an employee unsupervised out anywhere, then you should trust them on social,
Yep.
set them free, let them share their wins and their pain points they've overcome for clients and at mention clients. And that's when it'll just start exploding.
I love that. Chuck, what is the best way for people to reach out to you for your services?
You can go to cssalesconsulting.com or Chuck Shaver it's Chuck-Shaver is my tag on LinkedIn. But yeah, you can just find me on LinkedIn, Chuck Shaver, CS Sales Consulting, or go to the website, or you can email me at chuck@cssalesconsulting.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today.
All right, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to check out cssalesconsulting.com. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you're a business owner and you're looking to scale your business and really enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to discover how we can support your growth journey. Until then, keep on climbing.